All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to. This is going to be the second game, actually. I think in the Rusaoc Cup. Basically, this is a tournament hosted by Mr. Grin, who is a member of the Russian Age of Empires community, and he hosts the Rusaoc Cup every now and then. I'm not sure exactly what the frequency is, but a few times a year. This time he decided to open up to the international community, and this is going to be the grand finals, the second game of the grand finals. Vinchester ended up taking the first game, and this game was looked pretty particularly good. And I know no one casted in the English community these games, so I wanted to cast these for you guys. Vinchester and TaToH, they made it to the grand finals of this tournament, and I think it's only like a best of three. So we'll see who takes this game and potentially who takes the tournament. And this is going to be Indians and Berbers. The particular name of the map, it's gold. No, it's called Mirrored, I think. So this is a pretty unique map, and yeah. And Nova, if you want to introduce yourself again, I guess for YouTube, you can go ahead.
All right. So everyone, my name is Nova, or my nickname rather, and I stream Age of Empires. I try to play myself on stream. I also love to cast games, and I love games with high aggression, early aggression, kind of open maps, Arabia, Serengeti, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I enjoy casting both 1v1s and team games as well. There's a very interesting thing that I was thinking about in this game. So you know that Berbers, they get cheaper cavalry, and Indians, they get cheaper villagers. What do you think is going to be more important in this match?
I think in most matches the Indians, their eco bonus is going to be more useful. Sometimes you don't even see the Berbers go for their cavalry because they do like their unique unit so much in the camel archer.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's other bonuses of the Berbers that can come into play here. The villagers walking faster could be good for an aggressive map for towers such as this one. I know this is a very aggressive map because it's not going to be easy to wall. The middle, of course, is unwallable with all this shoreline, and the wood lines don't make it very wallable. So that could favor the Berbers in some ways. But in another light, we could just see a scout rush, which would favor the Indians because of their stronger economy.
Right. So another thing that I was noticing is that TaToH has easy access to stone, so he has stone in the back. It goes a bit more far away, which is not the situation for Vinchester. Vinchester has 2 gold piles very close to his TC, or at least closer than TaToH. So I think TaToH getting Berbers could potentially consider Tower Rush.
Yeah, it's a good observation. Obviously, on this particular map, which I haven't seen before, I don't think either of us have, this was like a nomad start, so perhaps Vinchester had a better town center placement. He's got 4 deer next to his town center as well, as a berry bush. And next to TaToH's base, I don't see any deer for him. There are these rhinoceroses in the middle, which can be lured, but you have to be careful with the rhinos, of course, because you don't want your villagers to get too low.
Oh, these rhinos. They are... How much HP does a boar have?
I think it's the same. The only difference between the 400 HP food sources, the elephant and the rhino, is that their attack delay is less, which sometimes throws players off.
Alright. Well, the villager count is already 3 higher for TaToH at this point.
Yeah, might have been just a little bit of a lucky start. I think maybe TaToH must have placed his town center earlier, or Vinchester might have had a little idle time to begin with the game with. That's kind of that randomness that happens when you have a nomad-style start.
Yeah, it's also nomad kind of styles, maps, nomad style kind of maps. It's also very interesting because sometimes you see a player with a very large map disadvantage going for some unusual strat and getting back into the game after aggression or that kind of stuff. And also TaToH is a very creative player, very versatile. I think he's very well known in the community because of it.
Yeah, I think that this particular style of map probably favors TaToH a bit. This is a map that we haven't seen before. We all know TaToH's a very adaptable player. Vinchester, I know him better for Arabia and arena play. But certainly, TaToH probably has a little more experience on like mega random type maps. And with this 2 villager advantage, which is partially due to him not researching Loom, looks like TaToH's going to go either for a scout rush or he's going to go for a men-at-arms rush to start the game.
That's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, the barracks already up right now. Going for the house there, not to get popped.
I'm gonna adjust your mic volume. Give me 1 second.
All right, all right. So let's see. Yeah, Vinchester taking another Rhino right now. That's gonna bring the Rhino count to 2 for both players. And TaToH is sending 1 Buffalo to scout. He's gonna find Vinchester in just a moment.
Is
He's
that
getting
better,
very close to
Zui How,
Darius,
with
though.
the
So-
mic volume?
All right, so
Let me
he
know in the
managed
chat.
to scout the house. The Buffalo is going to get converted, but at least he found the house before that happening. And Vinchester, he didn't find TaToH yet. So the blue player is certainly going to have the advantage here, at least in terms of logistics and intel.
Yeah, you're right. So much of Nomad is about scouting. You want to know where your opponent is so you can know where to send your army
It's very
and what kind of
interesting how
strategy
they
you want.
use the Buffaloes to scout, since you don't get to scout here.
Using the buffaloes to scout. And
Vinchester has been taking the deers as well.
can you hear me right now, Nova?
Ah, much better now.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
And
TaToH's taking so much food right now. I think this is probably the 5th Reno. No, maybe even more.
yeah, he's
So
taking a lot of
Vinchester-
food.
Well, the food count's alright, 200 food. 350 food already for TaToH though. I have to wonder what he's gonna do. So he's already up in Fuel Age. It's gonna be some time before Vinchester hits Fuel Age as well. And TaToH's going straight into Stable and Blacksmith.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough food for
Getting
a
PC
fast
closer to
castle.
the middle pond. Apparently was very good for TaToH, as he was able to get more rhinos in earlier.
Hey, could you hear me talking the last few minutes?
Nope.
Okay, so I had that push to talk off. So let's pause in the game for a second while I sort this out.
Alright. Alright, so I'm at 11 minutes, 59 seconds. Is that alright?
Yeah, that's all right. You did pretty good considering that. I thought you were casting by yourself. So so there's a small issue where my push to talk, for whatever reason, when I alt tabbed, it cut out on me.
Yeah, because you need to start Discord as an admin.
I've tried that before. I don't think it's worked. I could try that right now, though. Let me do that now.
Yeah, otherwise hotkeys don't work.
Okay, so I'm going to go back in Discord. Apologies, you're on the stream. Sometimes it just happens, Zui How. Oh shoot, I did the exact same thing. I didn't restart as admin. Okay, so here we go. I have Discord running as an admin. Okay, so let's try this.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm going to get in the game. I'll count it down. If you don't hear me, then it's not working, obviously. So I'm going to get in the game now.
Alright.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes?
Okay, well, there we go. That's the problem.
Alright.
So what time are you at?
11 minutes, 59 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to speed up till then. Give me a second.
Alright.
Okay, let's do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2,
Perfect.
1, go. Okay.
There we go.
So Vinchester's advanced to the feudal age. Both players are in the feudal age. I like how Vinchester surrounded his barracks with his houses and now his stable. It's kind of funny to me, anyway. But look at TaToH, the way he's playing this. He's gone with a quick stable, a blacksmith right away, and getting forging right away. That's a little bit of an unusual thing. I guess he wants to use all that food income.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as I was saying, he was getting a lot of extra rhino. Mostly probably due to the fact that his DC is closer to the middle pond, so there was more available to him easier.
And as well, TaToH going forward with some aggressive spearmen. I always love this move, especially if you have extra
spearman
food.
rush.
Because those spearmen,
Yes.
especially with forging, maybe they could do some damage.
Well, right now the villagers, they only have 1 melee armor, so they are going to be taking 2 damage per each hit.
Well, it's a
That's
lot
still
better than
gonna
1
take
damage
20
without
hits.
the. Well, it's 4
Yeah.
damage, so it's going to be 3 damage per hit. Because we have that
Oh,
forging
you're
coming
right.
in.
You're right. My bad.
And yeah, I think that
Okay.
really makes the spearmen a lot more effective. Don't want to run into the town center though. Don't do that. No.
Oh,
Oh.
TaToH.
Oh, I hate when units do that. But he lost most of the HP on both those spearmen now, and that's not the best move from TaToH.
Yeah, but he could still get rid of the spear from Vinchester because of the forging.
Yeah,
He was
probably.
going for scout as well. There is a scout he's using to scout around his base. 2 scouts, actually.
Yeah, has he been making scouts? He's got 2 scouts in his base just patrolling around. I think maybe he's thinking that Vinchester has landed, like, put some sort of aggression behind his base. I think Vinchester's been known to do that. But this is an incorrect guess from TaToH.
Yeah, I see.
And now TaToH's going to move out. He probably should have moved out a lot earlier. But it looks like Vinchester should be well defended for now. He's got 3 spearmen in his base. Vinchester moving out on the opposite side of the pond. And probably going to run into some walls. But it is possible he could pick this villager. Nah, looks like it's going to get walled.
I was thinking that maybe if TaToH micro this properly, he could be able to get rid of all 3 spears. But there is no way for ACCM not to notice the fight because the spearmen are right there by the DC, so there's not a lot of multitasking that he's going to need to do to fight here.
Yeah, so both players not being able to do any damage. We have a lot of farms up from each player. TaToH's actually going to go to stone, so I wonder if he's going to try to go aggressive, or he's just going to use the stone for... Maybe he's thinking about a castle. I bet that's what it's for.
Yeah, I think he's probably thinking about a castle as he is starting to take gold right now, and the food situation for him is very good. Oh, but look at this. Vinchester is already with a couple of scouts, and TaToH didn't notice. He's going to garrison the villagers right now, but it's a bit too late now. The scouts are inside.
And TaToH not going to be quick enough with the quick walling. Let's see if he's going to be able to pick off a villager. The spearman looks pretty scary, but the 3 scouts can take him on, especially with that hill.
Yes.
And TaToH coming back very quickly with his own scouts. This is probably a pretty good play from TaToH if he's going to bring his scouts in.
There you go. Vinchester is trapped now.
Yeah, and Vinchester should lose all of his army. Let's see if maybe he can take a good engagement. All of these scouts from TaToH are on full health, so I doubt that Vinchester will even get a single scout. And
yeah, not even with the hill.
Yeah, and the question now, so TaToH has showed his hand. TaToH is going to go for a castle, and luckily Vinchester has seen that with the scouts. So Vinchester, in response, looks like he's going to go double archer range for archers to counter.
Yeah, it is to be expected though from Berbers. Usually, pro players, they love the camel archers because they are very good. They are pretty much anti-cavalry archers that also are better cavalry archers than standard cavalry archers. They are tankier, they are fire faster as well. They are a very good unit.
Yeah, they're
gonna
an
be
extremely
super
good
against,
unit.
Yeah,
They're kind
gonna
of
be
like the
great
case of the
against
Megadai, where the Megadai is just a great unit, but then to make it an even better, stronger, overpowered unit, there's a bonus against siege with them too. So the Berbers kind of have that as well. Not only does it serve a very specific role, it's also a very good general unit. So
yeah,
Vinchester's got to react to this, and he's going to be on the defensive as he's going into crossbow against the camel archers to be coming out.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because Indians, against a large enough amount of camel archers, you cannot really go for standard melee camels yourself. But I'm not sure what he's gonna do with the archers once the game gets to Imperial Age or something, because Indians, they don't get the best archers.
They don't. I think that Vinchester's going to hope to hold for now, have a nice boom, and then eventually transition to camels, where hopefully with overwhelming numbers with the Imperial Camel upgrade, would be able to handle the camel archers by that stage of the game.
Let's see, let's hope the game gets to that stage. I love very long games, especially they are super even.
Yeah, I hope so too. I like that Vinchester has walled his map. I think he definitely needs to double layer wall it or wall it with houses because the palisades won't stand very long once we're in Castle Age. It looks like these scouts are actually going to get it. That's a very poor play from Vinchester. And Vinchester might lose some villagers. He's going to lose a single villager to start with. Where are the spearmen from Vinchester? I think they're all died.
He had 3 spearmen, those are forward. So he sent the spearmen forward with a couple of archers. Now he's going to need to send them back. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to quick wall the gold fast enough. It seems like he will. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so TaToH's not going to be able to get inside.
Yeah, but that Palisade getting really low, went down to 9 HP. It's now TaToH's turn to do some damage with the scouts, and this was just a little bit of a mistake from Vinchester. Vinchester needs to be gearing up to eventually combat these Camel Archers, possibly put any pressure that he could put on his opponent right now, because TaToH's going to be in an advantage in Castle Age.
Yeah, he's already in Castle Age, and Vinchester is going up there as well. But Vinchester right now going for fletching, so he's not even going for crossbows. My bad, actually, it's TaToH the one in Castle Age. So let's see. Yeah, going for fletching right now, so Vinchester is gonna try to go for bucking and crossbow probably as soon as he hits Castle Age. TaToH, I'm not sure. I don't think he's gonna be able to get out that way, going north. So potentially Vinchester could trap the scouts inside as well.
Yeah, definitely could, but there's so much space back there that TaToH can run around endlessly, I feel. Let's see what TaToH decides to do with these scouts. If he runs around in the back, he could make it a lot easier for the Camel Archers to eventually get in. And TaToH going up with the Siege Workshop right away, he smells blood, and he wants to end this game pretty quickly. That's what that tells me.
There you go, so Camel Archers and Siege. It's going to be very hard to fight against.
Yeah, that's an incredible combo to stop. Meanwhile, Vinchester going with the University right away. He wants ballistics for his archers to help better combat the Camel Archers. As well, Vinchester's going to add 2 extra town centers, but this is all a lot of investment from Vinchester. Luckily, he's got a great economy, but he might be vulnerable in the next few minutes, especially with TaToH and that siege coming out.
Yeah, fortunately for Vinchester, his Indians, because TaToH has a villager advantage right now, and another thing that's also very important is that TaToH has scouts here, so unless he loses them all, he's gonna be able to scout and see what Vinchester is gonna go for, which is not the case for Vinchester. Vinchester has no idea. He doesn't have a scout or any forward units to scout with. So even though he might expect the Camel Archers, I'm not sure if he's expecting the siege right away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. He's expecting the Camel Archers, but is he expecting the siege? And if he was expecting the siege, maybe, I don't know, maybe he'd go up with his own siege workshop himself. TaToH's staying at home right now with his Camel Archers and siege, but we can't imagine that's going to happen for too long. And at the same time, TaToH's also up to 3 town centers. That surprises me.
Vinchester just lost a villager. He was trying to go for the TC over there, but TaToH managed to break the palisade and got a villager.
And is that scout going to go down? Yeah, just barely, just barely. Stopped at the last second.
The numbers right now for TaToH are not super high, only 3 Camel Archers trying to mass them right now, and he does have a Mangoner already inside the Siege Workshop, so he's gonna need to send the units forward, but he needs a bit more numbers right now. And having 2 archer ranges means that Vinchester is gonna be able to outproduce.
Wrong is asking, can I become a caster? There's an application you can fill out at the bottom of the Twitch channel. If you have any questions, just private message me on Twitch or whatever, and I can explain what going along with being a caster means. But yeah, anyone can be. This is a volunteer channel. And this is going to be the first big engagement of the game, as TaToH is going to take on these Camel Archers. Now, we have Body Arrow and Ballistics for these. Oh, nice split from these archers. So these archers can be deadly.
He did take a damage there. Good shot. Oh my god. Yeah, he's trying to chase the Mangoner now. TaToH's gonna need to repair that.
And Vinchester needs to keep these Camel Archers at bay because he's down 8 villagers. Certainly, the Camel Archers, once they win an engagement, then it starts like kind of a snowball effect because you need your massive crossbows. I think TaToH's invested a lot into his economy very early with those 3 town centers, and thus can't afford the armor or the Bodkin Arrow upgrade for his Camel Archers and can't really engage the crossbows, which have ballistics.
Yeah, one thing TaToH could do with these resources is probably go for a monk, so that he can heal his army. It's gonna be a bit faster than garrisoning them.
Yeah, and this is a risky play from Vinchester because that Mega now can be repaired. And now Vinchester just going to try to go for 2 kills, but could potentially lose his army if he takes a big shot. Not going to happen. Vinchester's pretty good with his micro.
Yeah. TaToH right now, 10% larger eco, 66 to 60 villagers.
10%, really, I like that. That's some quick maths.
Very hard too. Let's see. So TaToH's sending a scout forward now. Let's see. He's gonna get some more intel, and Vinchester still. He only has the crossbows over there. So he cannot really get any closer because of the mangonels. And I feel like TaToH's gonna have the intel advantage here once again. Though he did lose the scout, fortunately.
So right now we've kind of stabilized again at a 5 or 6 villager advantage for TaToH, which is not that big, to be quite honest. And TaToH, however, has been massing up those camel archers. Still needs vodka arrow, but now they're a pretty good mass. I think that all TaToH needs is maybe one big mangonel shot, and then he could go aggressive and put on a world of hurt for Vinchester. And Vinchester, he could poke and prod a little bit, keep TaToH's army at bay, but can't really go for a siege workshop himself due to that castle being there.
Yes. And also, the villager advantage is getting less and less relevant as the game goes on, as it represents a smaller and smaller percentage. Of course, 5 extra villagers over 10 minutes, that's going to represent about 200 extra resources, so it's not... Oh, actually 2,000 extra resources. So it's still relevant, but it's getting less and less relevant by the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely feel that in your economy with the uptimes and everything like that. But at the same time, you know, Vinchester is playing as Indian, so he's going to save, you know, a lot of food on that. Now, risky play for Vinchester. Vinchester's looking for the damage. He's not looking... So far this game, we've seen him, you know, kind of be a little conservative, be in the middle of the map, not try to put his army in a compromising position. But now Vinchester's going to loop around the castle and try to look for some damage, but at the same time might get his army caught out. But TaToH's not going to care. There's no damage to be had on that side. There's the castle and some walls, and TaToH's now going to move out and look for some damage onto Vinchester.
Yeah, he's getting already there with the camel archers. The mangonels are going to take a little while to get there as well. But TaToH, I think he should be able to break in right now. He could probably target the palisade, or he can just go around as he's trying to do. And there are a couple of villagers exposed in the gold because the TC is not going to have enough range to protect all the gold miners. But Vinchester is bringing the army back. Oh, look at this. They're going to engage now.
Does TaToH have ballistics? I don't think he does, right?
Let me check.
So I think that Vinchester will be an advantage until that ballistics upgrade comes in. And those walls are still pretty weak. Did you check?
Yeah. TaToH has ballistics.
Oh, okay.
So both players now with the same tech.
Okay, so really it's up to those mangonel shots. I think Vinchester should be adding something else into his army. I think he needs something to deal with the mangonels other than crossbows.
Fortunately for Vinchester, the TC is uphill, so the mangonels...
Oh god, this is risky!
Damage. Look at this. Oh!
Wow.
Oh, that's...
TaToH not paying attention.
Yeah.
And that was a risky play from Vinchester. Very risky play to go for that.
And I wonder what the ping is like for both players here. As reaction time is not going to be so relevant if there's high latency and the units take longer to react.
Interesting with Vinchester. Vinchester's got a huge food eco. I'm just looking at his economy. He's actually switching into camels. So
yes.
He can't upgrade to Arbalest, so I guess that's not that interesting. But that's a probably a good decision on his part.
And let's see.
Oh!
Camels. Oh, that's almost a good shot. He did do some damage there, but it's definitely not worth it losing a Magna 4.
I like the addition of the Scorpion.
I
always love that.
Yeah.
Mangonel plus Scorpion combo is pretty strong. But I think Vinchester's done his job. I think he's held TaToH back long enough. This is the first time this game where the Camel Archers have even come forward. And maybe Vinchester's held out enough to make his Camel transition. Maybe not, as we have 2 Mangonels and 2 Scorpions going to bear down on this town center.
Yes. If we take a look over TaToH's base in the east, you can see that he's going for 3 ranges, and he's going for skirmishers right away. So he's going to try to counter now the archers with skirmishers. They are not going to be so effective against the camels, but then the camel archers, they are going to be able to deal with the camels from the purple player.
Yeah, and I'm liking Vinchester's position more and more now. I like that he gets chemistry and bodkin arrow on his crossbow, even though he doesn't get arbalest, because he needs something to hold right now. He just needs to buy a little more time. And at the same time, you said TaToH's making skirmisher? Yeah, he is.
Yes.
So TaToH should know that Vinchester doesn't have the Arbalest upgrade. I'm sure he does, but I think that Vinchester's one step ahead as far as the counter game goes.
Look at that. TaToH's gonna send a couple of skirmishers inside. He's gonna sacrifice one of those. Probably trying to get some scouting.
And now all the upgrades coming in from the heavy camels. I think it's time for Vinchester push out. Now we can take down those Mangonels with ease. And
Yes.
TaToH's going to have to transition to something else or get a lot higher mass of his camel archers. Do you think camel archers can compete with the heavy camels of the Indians at this stage?
Well, let me see. I think they can because of the high damage. The Imperial Camels eventually. Let me see. So yeah, Imperial Camels, they get one extra pierced armor. So right now, that's 5 damage, 5 pierced armor, I mean, for heavy camel. And yeah, the camel archers, they're going to be dealing 9 damage for the time being. Potentially TaToH, when he upgrades those, they're going to be even more powerful. If he has a large enough mass of units, he should be able to take care of the archers, but he's going to need a good micro, and he's going to have to not get surrounded. Otherwise, things could go south for him.
I think Vinchester's, again, doing another smart play. I think this is partially... He's basically predicting TaToH's counters, and he sees probably a pretty big weakness in TaToH's army. TaToH's only got ranged units, and Vinchester's transitioning into rams. And I think part of this is because Vinchester's a very good arena player. You have to be able to predict your opponent's army composition very effectively as an arena player. And here we go. Here comes that ram push. There's nothing to stop the rams right now.
Yes.
And Imperial Camel coming in as well. Vinchester's eco has been unrated this entire game. Even though he has less villagers, it's still Indian economy. And I don't know. TaToH's going to have to find some way to stop these rams.
Well, he's going right away for the barracks. So he's building 2 barracks right now, researching. Actually, no, he's going for pikemen right away. I'm not sure if pikemen they are going to be very effective, especially with crossbows there.
They're not, especially because the Berbers don't get halberdier, which I've learned the hard way. But this is going to be a pretty tough hold for TaToH.
Yeah, there you go. The pikemen, they are getting destroyed. The villagers that TaToH sending, they are going to get destroyed by the crossbows as well. Yeah, this is not looking good for blue.
And all that
Also
TaToH's holding on to are these camel archers, which he's going to go down 1 castle, so won't be able to make those any longer. I think he's going to know he's in real trouble once he sees that Imperial Camel upgrade. And there it is, Imperial Camel done. Is that castle going to go down? It's very close. No villages are repairing it. Why are no villages repairing? Oh, gosh.
There's no way for him to send villagers because of the crossbows.
You could sacrifice a few, and now TaToH going to rebuild the castle just slightly behind. I felt like he could have saved that castle.
Castle count, only 1 for TaToH right now. It's going to be 2 once that castle goes up. But Vinchester, look at this. Look at the... Oh my god, so many units going forward.
Yeah, you're going to take a big Mangonel shot too. So right now it's all about the Imperial Camels. The skirmishers will help out. They'll help out quite a bit, actually. I think that TaToH needs to... What does TaToH need to add? I feel like this army is not going to be very effective against the Indians.
Well, the only good melee unit against this army, probably for TaToH, is his own camels, but they are not as good as Imperial Camels. Pikemen, they are not going to do anything against skirmishers. And regular camels, even heavy camels, they are going to lose against Imperial Camels, right?
Yeah,
So,
I would have to agree.
Sure.
I would hope that the Berbers' discount on the camels helps to make up for some of this. But I think that heavy camels definitely is the best option for TaToH.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if TaToH can do anything at this point. Game seems to be getting close to finishing.
Well, you never know when
reading here.
You never know when camel archers are involved. But yeah, TaToH. Oh, TaToH has a gold in the back he hasn't seen. I was about to say, TaToH's going to be in need of some gold. It's unfortunate he hasn't seen that gold.
Oh, that's correct. Well, yeah, and also in his production, he only has 2 castles right now. And if you take a look at Vinchester, he's in the Imperial Camel after Imperial Camel non-stop. And he's top cap right now, so looking good for him.
Looking very, very good for Vinchester. And I think this all stems back from that early game where just Vinchester had a better boom and was able to hold off TaToH for the time being, which normally you don't see against Camel Archers. Normally Camel Archers take over the game. But Vinchester was able to hold those Camel Archers off till long enough until his boom came into effect.
Yeah. And I think TaToH might be able to hold if it were only Imperial Camels, but now with Rams. Yeah, it's a very, very complicated situation for TaToH.
As well, Thumb Ring finally coming in for the Camel Archers. That's actually a very important upgrade for Cavalry Archer type units. TaToH try to make as many pikemen as possible, but we all know that the pikemen are not going to be the thing that solves this equation or solves this problem for Vinchester. Now that castle going down, Camel Archers are going to, Imperial Camels are going to be free to raid. And look at TaToH's base. TaToH's just getting pushed further and further into the corner of the map as he builds one more castle.
Yeah, TaToH's getting one castle down, one castle up. He's going like that. At this point, if he tried to repair the first castle and potentially go for another one, he could have had 3 castles. At this point, he only has 1. He's trying to build the second one. But there is so much exposed eco for him. He already lost the entirety of the west, and in the north, he doesn't really have a lot of protection. There are a couple of pikemen over there, but 6 pikemen are probably not going to be very dangerous to this amount of Imperial Camels, especially with skirmishers.
The only thing I could say going for TaToH is TaToH is a much more experienced deathmatch player. However, I don't think we're really in the same scenario. Take a look at the right side of the map as the Imperial Camels are just going to move in. I think they're going to go for these Camel Archers and try to take the best engagement as possible.
Oh, but look at this. The Rams are not here, and TaToH is one shooting the Camels. If you can find a good place... Oh, there you go. That's the choke. That's the choke. Oh, I'm not sure about this. I think Vinchester might lose a lot of camels over here. But he might be comfortable trading his camels for the Camel Archers because he has the production capacity, which is not the case for TaToH. TaToH only has 2 castles at this point.
That's what I think. I think that that Vinchester could just spam these camels all day, and this is just a waste of TaToH's time.
Yeah, look at that. Vinchester still pop capped, and if you take a look at his resources, getting close to 1k food and 1.6k gold right now.
Yeah, he could go for a wonder pretty soon.
Oh my god, what is this? Yeah, Vinchester is gonna keep pushing now with the Rams and with the skirmishers. No ranged units are gonna be able to do anything against those rounds. No pikemen are gonna be able to do anything because of the skirmishers. And yeah, I'm just expecting the GG now, very, very soon.
I think so. I think TaToH, most of his economy is idle. He doesn't have access to gold as well, or stone for that matter. And I don't know how he's going to be able to push this back. This is obviously, this would be if Vinchester were to win this, he'd take a 2-0 victory over TaToH and win the Rus AOC Cup, Age of Empires Cup. I'm not great with pronunciations, but he would take home some cash money with that. I think $300.
Yeah, maybe that's why TaToH's not giving up just yet. But 112 population versus 180, it's no way.
Yeah, it's not. This would be comeback of the century if TaToH were able to pull it off.
Oh, you know, I remember there's one game from Battle for Anchor. Do you remember that tournament back in 2016?
I do, but I'm not sure I'd be able to tell you the exact game.
Oh, there was one game. It's not very similar to this one, but in terms of comeback, I think that's probably the best game that I've ever seen. It was TaToH versus Nikab, and TaToH was playing Burmese, and of course players, they didn't really know the civs very well back in the day. And at one point, I think during that game, Nikab was pop capped, and that was pretty much like this 110 population. The game was like 2 hours long, and he managed to come back and win.
Yeah, so it is possible. It is possible. What map was it on?
Back in the day, they didn't really know the civs. Right now, I think Vinchester is quite sure that there is nothing TaToH can do right now, and I think TaToH is quite sure as well.
What map was it on?
Ah, there you go.
GG. Yeah, good game. So, Vinchester's going to take the Rus AOC Cup, the International Edition. This was a tournament hosted by Mr. Grin. This was the last game in the series between him and TaToH. And it's only fitting that even though Mr. Grin opened this tournament up to basically Everyone that wanted to sign up, we had Say My Name in here. TaToH Vinchester, a Russian, ended up taking the title anyway. So that's pretty fitting.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow,
So,
that's interesting.
yeah. Hope you enjoyed that game. Goes to show, if you make a camel, if you make a castle with camel arches, you have to do the damage, I think, as opposed to just staying at home. And TaToH kind of played the game that Vinchester wanted to play. Both players ended up booming, and the Indian boom ended up to be stronger.
Yes. Yeah, I'm taking a look at the timeline, and I think TaToH had the advantage during the early game for sure. Up until
Oh,
Castle
I
Age,
think so.
maybe
Yeah.
he had. Yeah, he was in a good position, also sneaking the scouts inside, trapping Winchester scouts, but it was unfortunately not enough to take the game. And in Imperial Age, as you were saying, Indian economy and the military units, Imperial camels, they're very hard to fight against.
All right, so we're gonna jump into game two in just a second. Someone asked,
Okay.
am I willing to sacrifice family, friends, and another career to focus everything on commentating AoE 2? I'm personally not, but uh, I don't think you have to sacrifice any of those things, honestly, to have a career, even commentating AoE 2, if anyone wanted to. So it's a very flexible kind of thing.
What? You
Someone asked
didn't
a comment
you didn't
about,
sign the contract? What?
what is it?
You didn't sign the contract?
Oh,
Am I the only one?
yeah. You don't have to give your
Damn
firstborn to
it.
cast AoE 2.
Oh, and you're telling me this now. Come on.
Yeah, too late. I already got rid of those things just in case. All right, so I'm gonna take a 2 minute break, and then I'll be back, and we'll be casting some record games from this week. It's gonna be Tim versus Valise. Stay tuned.
All right, man.
All right, are you ready for this record game?
Yes, sir.
All right. So basically, I found these games off AoE Zone by looking at the last few games, the last games of the week, and yeah, these should be pretty good games, hopefully.
This one looks like a very, very interesting matchup.
Oh, good. All right, so we'll do the same thing we did last time,
All right.
and here we go.